Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today is day 25 of 100 machine learning projects, and today we will be diving into a very interesting project, that is voice recognition system. We will be implementing that using Librosa, library, and we will be going through the code to understand like how these libraries and dependencies, how the feature extraction works, and how we train the model, and how to evaluate, and how to make sure it how it is predicting as well. So you have to understand that for like how you are able to do this voice recognition system. If you guys might have heard about Alexa, you might have heard about Siri, that how when you say hey Siri, they understand it, and they do task on the basis of those your voices also. And some of the there are things when you say something that your voice notes are there, and you have seen those in sci-fi movies where a hero is there with a very secure lock, and he has to say some word in his voice only, and then it will unlock. So how these actually work, or can we implement it using the like machine learning algorithms or the libraries that are already present? So let me share my screen, and we will just start with the code. I will explain everything, like how things are, and just go through the code at once. So yeah. So as you guys can understand, like this is just to see that upgrading the Librosa library, because it is the one which is responsible for audio processing, and and understand extracting the features using the Mel frequency capsule coefficient that we call MFCCs, like from audio files as features that represent the speaker's voice characteristics. If you remember that we have also created a speech recognition system like before, in which there were multiple voice for the music genre classification. So there were different classific musics with different genres in it, and then from there we were giving audio to the trained model, and it was able to deduce that is it pop music, is it classical music, or what kind of genre it likes lies into. And how this was happening is by extracting the features that are MFCCs, that are very important. These are the features which actually tells us how the voice is, like how's the texture of the voices, what is the pitch, what is how the pitch is changing, how like what is the variant in that. And whenever you are working with voice or any audio kind of scenario, you have to understand like how to extract these features in a very good manner, so that you can train your model very nicely. So we will go step by step. We were using we installed the Librosa library that we have already used in previous videos. So it upgrades the Librosa libraries, which is used for audio processing. It imports it. It provides features to load the audio files and extract features, MFCCs, which are critical for speech identification and much more. And you can see that we are importing the OS for file directory, NumPy for numerical computations, and array handling, Librosa for audio processing and feature extraction. And there is train test split SVM. We will be training an SVM algorithm for this, to make it to identify like this audio belongs to which kind of a person, or like which kind of the characteristics, or who is the or speaker in there. And and to convert like pre-processing label encoder we have uploaded and everything. So let's just start like how we are extracting it. Okay, handle miss. Okay, this is not the one. Yeah, how we are extracting the MFCCs. As you know that this is the main part, main critical thing that actually distinguishes an audio file from one to another on the basis of its texture, the pitch, the timbre. I think this that's how it is pronounced. So timbre of the file. So basically what is happening in this particular code, it loads the audio file using the librosa load with the sampling rate of 16 kilohertz. Like this is the the what we can say, the unit of volume, the unit of sound, like how it is going to move, like the what is, how the pitch is going up and down. And checks if the audio is valid, like if it is empty, it is not, it is silent or not, if there is something, the audio file is there or not. And basically normalize the audio by dividing by its maximum amplitude, because there will be like, okay, the whenever you can see there is an audio, it goes like this is this, right? Even if you are sending a voice note, you can see that there is a single line until you start speaking. So we have to normalize it also. You, if you remember why we normalize, to scale, to scale the features to in a singular format, so that a model can be trained it on a very very nicely and very easily. It makes it understandable more to the to the model, to ensure consistent volume levels also. So we do normalize, and then we extract the nmfcc 13, the mfccs, which are compact representation of audio's you know spectral characteristics. And those characteristics include the timbre, the pitch, the how softness of the voice, softness of the audio as well. And it computes the mean of the mfccs across that time frame, that if it is of 30 seconds, then it is will it will calculate a whole like fixed length feature, like maybe the 13 values per audio file, and understand, okay, this audio file is dependent on these 13 features, and this is how it is related. And it will handle the errors only. So basically what is happening, that we are capturing the timbral, the spectral properties of speech, which are unique to each speaker's voice, and they're widely used in speech and speech recognition, because they model the humans auditory system's perception of of sound, that how a human is able to understand the sound, and how a human is able to distinguish a sound from one kind of noise to others. And taking the mean across the time frame simplifies the data into fixed size vector, making it suitable for machine learning, which is very important. That's why we normalize the data set, as we have discussed in different scenarios. So so what is the things that happen, it basically what it is doing, if you can see that here, it is taking the just a simple raw file, it is converting into it is dividing it into how the here the normalization is being done. It is calculating the different features, which are 13. Like you can also extract more features in that, but here 13 features we are targeting. And you can see that this is how it is going to be done. And then we will get, we will work on the speaker side, like like this function basically extract the speaker id from the file name based on the data sets naming convention, because we have ravdas, crema, save and thres also, with .wav audio files that we have downloaded from dataset. So each dataset uses a different naming convention. So this function basically standardize the extraction of speaker ids for consistent labeling across the dataset, because if there are different kind of dataset where the naming convention is different, so we are extracting the name to provide a label also. Because you have to understand that at the end we want to know that if I'm giving you a voice, if I'm giving you a audio, then it the model should be, the computer should be able to identify which person is speaking that. That's how the speech recognition, your speech identification works. So this is why it is important to identify which who is the speaker in this scenario, and how the speaker id is being generated. And you can see that how these are being generated. And now we will use the combined data set, that why we did that. So this function basically loads the audio files from the data set, like from the different category. I will also show you. And this is what the data set looks like. Okay, yeah, archive. So these are the categories: the crema, Ravdas, and Save, Tres. And you can see that there are these are the things, and you can see the actor one file and actor, crema, these things. Okay, so also let me close this. Yeah. So this is how what a data set looks like. So what is happening? This function basically loads the audio files from four data sets located in the in the directory, and it iterates through each dataset folder. Like for each .wav file, for each audio file, it is extracting the get speaker id that we have, the function that we have talked about. It is extracting for each audio file, it is extracting the mfc folder. And if the mfc extraction is successful, it appends the feature, it basically it's appending the features as well as the speaker id to provide it a label that okay, this feature, this feature, these features are responsible to these labels. And then it converts those features and labels to numpy arrays and uses label encoder to convert speaker ids into numerical layers, because you want, you know to be clarified into a different, why we do, because there will be like 101, 101, 101. So just to do label encoding that okay, this one particular, to basically minimize the classes and identify that there are how many classes the recognition is going to output it into. So the basically the code loads 7,921 samples from 95 unique speakers and through one file, and is skipped, and it will go through it. It will extract the speaker idea, it will extract the mfc features, that what audio file basically looks like, the its technicalities. It will provide a label to it, it will join it, and then it will it will create a numpy array, basically a data set with all the numbers on it, so that it can be trained on those scenarios, and on the same thing that the training model basically works. So this is how it, okay, no, this is how it looks like. And this is that, okay, yeah, let me, okay. So this is what it looks like, and then we are just basically training the model that okay, this is the scenario, what model we are calling. Yes, you can see that we are calling the svc, which is basically the svm classifier with rpf, that is radial basis function kernel, and regularization parameter with c is equals to 1.0. It evaluates the model on the test set and prints the accuracy, which is very less, right, in this case, that I think it is like, I think something like 72% or something. Yeah. So the why we use the svm classifier is used because it's effective for high dimensional data, because we're using mfcc, so there will be multiple variations also in different kind of scenarios there. What a particular audio will have, like it will have 13 features, and those also will vary, and it will very high dimensional data, and they are dependent on each other in a multiple category, and how to identify the relationship also. So it is not going to be linear. So svm basically helps us in non-linear relationships between the features via the the rbf kernel. So this is a very good classifier that we can use. And the low accuracy also suggests challenges that, like large number of classes, like 95 speakers are also there. But possibly you can work on less classes, like five speakers, and you can use that data set, train your model, and then move with that. And then we are just identifying the speakers, like extracting the mfcc features from a new audio file. If valid, it reshapes the for prediction, because you remember, for extracting the feature and then converting those mfcc feature for the like converting it to a 2D array, so that it is in format, with that format for svm to basically predict like who is the person, and convert the numerical, and then take a label back, and then convert it back into a proper information that how it does look like. So basically this is what's happening in this scenario. And identifying the speaker, and here all the training is done. So there was one invalid file that it jumped into, and there were like 95 unique speakers that I already talked about. The accuracy is 12.37%. That is very less, but you can see there are 95 unique speakers, so there are multiple classes with lots and lots of unique information also there, unique what I say, that unique tim MFCC confidence are there, unique features are there, and they are also non-linear. So if you want, what you can do, you can work on this kind of directory and understand like how the things are, and it will also provide a confidence score that how confident it is that this works into this kind of scenario. So what I did, after training the model, it you can see that it took like 154 minutes, and I've been training like this for the whole day. I also encountered some of the errors because of the invalid audios also. So you can see that the test prediction is invalid audio. There was no such audio because I in the I didn't see that there was a subdirectory. I was just clicking in that, and I was getting this. So there are multiple subdirectories as well. So what I did, I checked it for this file, that is archive into Crema. I think the first one I did, and I checked it that if I can check it for the trained model, and it was able to identify that this is the speaker. It did not provide the whole scenario, but does provided that okay, 101 with a confidence score of 94.33, which is a very good confidence score. And because this was coming from the original data set only, so I that was easy for the model to actually identify. But if you want to increase the accuracy, make sure that you are training it well, you are giving it a lot of time. You can work on different categories also. Maybe you can create a data set different after create a whole data set of the MFCC confidence with the labels, and then try to train your model on that. So that will how it will become easier. Because right now what I was doing, I was just calculating on the run, that I was taking one file, calculating it, training my model, then going to the new file, extracting the features, then training it, then going to the third audio file and then training it and then running it. So that would not help you that much. So what we can do, as to increase the accuracy of this scenario, we can just make sure that train the model, save the model, um, sorry, use the data set, extract the feature, make a new data set on the basis of that, and then try to train the model on that prepared data set, and then move forward with this. So this is just a starting point of you for you guys, that okay, this can also be done, and this is one of the thing that Librosa library can do. This is little bit similar to the music genre, where we were trying on the base of the characteristics, we were trying to fit the like what genre it lies into, and this is like who spoke it. So this is where like it's a little bit extended version of that scenario, but you can use this, and this is like very good. And I hope you like this application of Librosa library, and maybe you can play with it, and you can tweak some applications on tweak some parameters to increase the accuracy. You can also tweak some take multiple data sets, work on it, learn it, and make your model work better. So this is it for today, and that's it. So I hope you like this video, and make sure you subscribe the channel, so that you know when I'm uploading the videos, when I'm uploading new projects also. So this is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.